Native language influences the structure of the brain. German scientists have found evidence that the language we speak shapes the connections in our brains that may underlie the way we think. The scans showed that the brains of people who use German and Arabic on a daily basis are different, suggesting that the cognitive demands of native languages physically shape the brain. Linguists have previously argued that the language we speak influences the way we think. The Sapir-Whorf hypothesis states that the structure of language shapes our worldview and way of thinking through the way we perceive the world. But you don't have to be a linguist to realize that radically different languages, such as German and Arabic, load the brain differently. A team of scientists from the Max Planck Institute for Human Cognitive and Brain Sciences determined that the language in which we grow up, learn and think modulates the structure of the brain. The description and results of the research were published in the journal Neuroimage. German scientists decided to take a closer look at the brains of people speaking Arabic and German using magnetic resonance imaging. It turned out that this generated quite significant differences in the functioning of their brains. As we know, these languages differ significantly from each other. For example, in that Arabic is read from right to left. A total of 94 people were tested. Thanks to high-resolution imaging, it was possible not only to obtain a detailed image of the brain and its anatomy, but also to see the connections between individual areas. The research results have shown that, in fact, the language we speak has an impact on the connections existing in our brain and the way they are shaped. More precisely, these connections, specifically within the white matter, adapt to the challenges posed by the native language. How connections are made in our brain depends on our environment in childhood and on what and how we learn then. This then influences our reasoning in adulthood. However, as it turned out, new research allowed us to look from a completely new perspective on how our brain adapts to specific cognitive expectations. But what exactly are the differences between Arabic and German speakers? First of all, people whose native language is Arabic show stronger connections between both hemispheres of the brain than those who speak German. This may be related to the more complex semantic and phonological processing that occurs in this language. However, it also turned out that the German language also has its strengths. Well, in the case of these people's brains, stronger connections were found in the area responsible for language in their left hemispheres. And this, in turn, may be related to more complex syntactic processing, in particular, among others, greater distances in a sentence between its individual elements. The next aim of the research will be to analyze the changes taking place in the brains of Arabic-speaking people who have been learning German for 6 months. Well-preserved remains of a buffalo from 8,000 years ago were found in Yakutia. They want to clone him. In 2022, the remains of a bison that went extinct thousands of years ago were found in Yakutia. The find is so well preserved that Russian scientists are considering trying to revive the extinct species. Many specimens of ancient animals, even thousands of years old, can be found in the thawing permafrost. Some of them are preserved in such good condition that scientists are beginning to wonder whether something more can be done with their remains than just examining them. This is the situation with the perfectly preserved remains of an ancient bison, found in the summer of 2022. The tissues are so well preserved that they can be used to revive an extinct species. At least that's what Russian researchers believe, although the scientific community is skeptical about this concept. It is estimated that this bison lived about 8,000 years ago. It was found in the area of Verkhoyanskoye in the Autonomous Republic of Yakutia. Although it has not survived in its entirety, its head, front legs and part of the chest have survived to this day and are in surprisingly good condition. He was probably between 1.5 and 2 years old at the time of his death. It is worth mentioning that well-preserved bison have been found in the past. The last such discoveries were made in 2009 and 2010, and the biological age of these bison was 2 months and 4 to 4.5 years, respectively. Both were found to have lived some 8 to 9,000 years ago. Scientists from the Mammoth Museum of the Northeastern Federal University, NEFU, in Yakutsk, where the find was made, performed an autopsy on the buffalo, during which samples of the buffalo's skin, muscles and soft tissues were taken. In addition, his brain was also removed. The samples will be subjected to further analyses, which should allow for a more accurate determination of how long ago the found bison lived and what were the characteristics of the biological environment in which it functioned. Because some parts of the bison's body were preserved in really good condition, NEFU scientists began to wonder what condition its DNA might be in and whether it would be possible to use it to clone the animal. We are working on a unique find that, thanks to selected materials, can be cloned in the future, said Hwang Woo Sok, who works at NEFU. However, to make this possible, it is necessary to find chromosomes that would not be damaged. As Love Dalen, a paleogeneticist at Stockholm University in Sweden, admitted, cloning extinct animals from such tissues is not possible. For cloning to be possible, intact chromosomes must be found, Dalen said. Often, even in the case of the best preserved specimens recovered from the permafrost, it turns out that the chromosomes have been broken into millions of fragments. As Dalen commented, in the case of a specimen dating back thousands of years, you would have a better chance of getting 1,000 heads in a row by flipping a coin than finding an intact chromosome. Additionally, the person responsible for the entire project is controversial in this case. This is Professor Hwang Woo Sok from NEFU and the Biotechnology Research Foundation located in the United Arab Emirates. He was dismissed from South Korea's National University in Seoul after the research results he presented turned out to be fraudulent. He also faced prison time after violating ethical principles by collecting human eggs. However, his entire team caused considerable controversy when a bear found in the permafrost, which was said to have lived as much as 22,000 years ago. He actually walked the earth, only 3,500 years ago.